Good morning. My name is Nathaniel Peterkin, and what he did say about me is true. I do wear a size 18 shoe. The story I will begin with is known as The Ant and the Chrysalis. It's a story that I came across summer of 2016 in my professor's class, who was a small woman, but she had a big impact on my life. So the story is called The Ant and the Chrysalis. One day, an ant was walking by a tree, and he noticed a chrysalis just hanging there. He stared at it, and he felt sorry for the chrysalis because he realized that the chrysalis couldn't do anything that he was doing. The ant left. Long story short, he came back, and one day the chrysalis was gone. He looked up in the air, and all of a sudden he saw a butterfly. The butterfly then said to the ant, "Behold in me much pity, friend, for now I am free." The butterfly then flew away, never to be seen again by the ant. From this story, from this small story within class, I gathered that from my own philosophy, appearances are deceptive and fate is never really understood. So a little bit about myself. As he said, I am a student at Sandhills Community College. I major in English with a double minor in communications and Spanish. I will be graduating in May, thank goodness. Also, I am the parliamentarian of the Student Government Association at Sandhills Community College. I am the president of Men of Valor and Excellence. I am on the Students' Grievance Committee. I am also a personal trainer. I work out 3 hours a day while working 2 jobs. That does sound like a lot, doesn't it? However, let me backtrack. Appearances are deceptive and fate is never really understood. So let's define appearances. Appearances are defined as the way someone or something looks, while fate itself is defined as development of events beyond a person's control. It's very deep. Confucius once said that everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. What is beauty? Do you see it? It took me 24 years to realize that there is beauty in life itself, and life itself is beautiful. I graduated Pinecrest in 2011. After 2011, I attended North Carolina Central University, which is the school I will be returning to after I graduate Sandhills. School for me, college for me, was a place of freedom. My first semester there, I was on the dean's list, but after that, I felt as if something was missing. Something wasn't right. It was either I wasn't happy with myself, I wasn't happy with my family, or I wasn't happy with school. But being a young and naive young man, I failed to realize that it all started with me. So my grades began to suffer. I stopped going to class. I began to smoke. I began to sell drugs. I began to hang around the wrong people. But for what? What was the reason? I was trying to fill a void that was within myself. It was a black hole, and I was searching for an answer. I was searching for an answer, and it took me until recently when I came back home to actually find that answer. Nelson Mandela once said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." I had to learn what fear was. I had to learn how to conquer my fear. I had to learn how to conquer myself in order to conquer my goals. So I moved back home in 2013. I worked for Walmart. I worked for UPS, unloading trucks, which was an advantage to me because of my size. After working for about a year, I returned back to Durham, which was when I started smoking more, when I started selling drugs more. I loved it, or at least I thought I did. I loved the people that I was around, or at least I thought I did. I loved the women that I was around, or at least I thought I did. Because growing up as a guy, society shows that you're supposed to get the woman. You're supposed to get the car. You're supposed to have the money. You're supposed to have the clothes. You're supposed to have the house, right? Right, guys? That's what you're supposed to do, right? Exactly. No, that's far from the truth. That's not what you're supposed to do at all. So I learned this the hard way. Within 2014, I lost everything. I became homeless for almost a year. I slept in a 1998 Volvo. And imagine sleeping in the car for almost a year when you're 6'6". It's not easy. Imagine raising a 4-week-old pit bull puppy in your car. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But at the same time, I found myself within isolation. I could have easily came back home, but there was something that I needed to fix within myself before I ended up re-entering the lives of people that I chose to neglect, and that I chose to just go away from. So for 8 months, I spent my time homeless, sleeping, writing, living in a car, raising a puppy, sharing a meal with a puppy, sharing a cup of water. No, we did not drink out of the same cup. But he became my best friend. He became my confidant. He showed me that life itself is not really hard. Life was not made to be hard. People make life hard. People are the ones who make life uneasy. Life itself was never created for mankind to be difficult. People, mankind, are who makes life difficult. So, from me being homeless, I learned that fear itself only exists within men. Marcus Garvey once said, "Liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men." So when I came back home, and I promise this is my last time coming back home, although I will come back to visit. However, when I came back home, I decided to liberate my mind. I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking. Stopped selling drugs. I even went to the extreme and stopped eating meat. Haven't done any of that in 2.5 years. After that, I began to liberate my body. I began to work out more, 3 hours a day. People say, well, you're a little bit extreme. When you're this big, you have to be extreme. So, 3 hours a day. Blood, sweat, tears. For what? People like to ask me, well, what do you work out for? What is it that you're striving so hard to accomplish? My answer is simple. It's life. I work hard for life. I work out hard for life. I work hard to be a better person than I was in the past because I don't want my past to affect my present. And I need my present to be beneficial to me now so that I can have a positive future. So, throughout all of this, I came to the conclusion that as a man, life is hard. But as a black man, life is even harder. Throughout my period of isolation, I started writing, had a notebook, had a pen. I began to dabble in poetry. I was always into music. I recorded music in the past, but I began to dabble in poetry. And a poem that really resonated with me until this day is called Between. And it says, I'm stuck between inferior and superior. I'm stuck between inferior and superior to the point that my interior never see it because of my exterior, which to you seems superior. But at times, to me, it's like being blind, you see, because I can't help but to feel inferior. My heart has been polluted. There is so much confusion. However, I can still see the horizon. Ignoring all the spies and adding spices to my new recipe, which goes along with this new melody, so strong and dangerous, they should charge me with a felony. All jokes aside, I'll keep the misdemeanor. Charged in 2015, I'll be clear by 2018, never convicted. However, the system treats me like a convict. Can barely move my feet. It's like having shackles on my ankles and swimming in a tar pit. It's hard here. You try being a black man, it's like someone put bars here. They look at me like a caged animal, only this one wears scars and gear. I know the little kid inside of me is asking, who put these bars in here? I'm sorry this happened. Why couldn't I be a Latin, be destined to find me a jasmine and ride around on a magic carpet? But instead I have shackles on my ankles and swimming in a tar pit. Sometimes the kid inside of me wants to stand up and have fun, but I have to say, nah, sit. Watch and observe. Playtime is over. I have to be a soldier and an upstanding citizen. realizing that when it comes to the black man, some whites just want to get rid of him because of his history and his story. They may not want him to reach his former glory. They show movies and pictures of Egyptians as white, of Jesus as white, but can't accept the fact that a black man died to save their life. How will you act during the rapture? Stuck in between, there was only what is and what seems, but I too had a dream, and what seems is far from the truth. The U.S. is supposed to be a land of opportunities, but fails as a community. Some are lost and don't know what to do. The country of red, white, and blue is full of hatred, jealousy, and what they're teaching is not the truth. I pray for my generation and those that follow, because if walls are built and hatred grows, there will not be a tomorrow. Riots and protests, we have learned to be peaceful and must continue, but pardon is such sweet sorrow. Greeks came to Egypt to learn. British and Americans came to Africa to watch it burn. Mussolini tried his best to destroy Ethiopia, but still we stand. I have to profess that we are the better man. I do not hate America, I despise the lies, the fact that the government chooses to ignore the pain in our eyes. When will they learn that they can't burn what clearly walks in the flames? I do believe that a time will come when we must leave Babylon, return to our roots. You cannot hide from the truth. This Babylonian dwelling is not selling something that I need to buy. So I try to deny, just prepare to make that trip for when the world takes its spin, for then on men and women will have to answer to him. So, after that poem, and it may need to settle in just a little bit, but after that poem, I realized that I had a vision. And through my vision, I found my purpose. But my vision ultimately was my gift, because your body is just a vehicle transporting a soul. Your gift is inside of here. Your gift is your vision. Vision is what's going to get you to your purpose. Your vision and your gift is also your vehicle. Your gift is just like an actual vehicle. It's a car. You have to fuel it. You have to clean it. You have to take care of it. You can't allow for anyone to taint that vehicle. Don't allow for anyone to hurt it. Don't allow for anyone to damage it. Don't allow for anyone to use it and abuse it. That's your gift. That is your vision. That is your vehicle. Your vision is going to get you to your purpose. And your purpose is ultimately your final destination. That's where you will thrive. That's where you will live. Because if you look around you right now, you will notice that some of the people around you are not happy. They're functioning while being dysfunctional. They're dysfunctional people trying to function while being dysfunctional, because they're just existing. But once you find your vision, once you identify your gift, and once you get to your purpose, you will realize that you can truly live. You will find life in your gift. You will find life in your purpose. You will find life knowing that you didn't settle for anything less than the best. Brother Robert Nesta Marley, better known as Bob Marley, once said, "Open your eyes, look within. Are you satisfied with the life you're living? Are you satisfied? Are you happy? Every morning when you wake up, do you wake up with a smile on your face? Every night before you lay your head to go to sleep, do you go to sleep with a smile on your face? Do you dread the day that you look forward to, or that you're supposed to look forward to, for the job that you have to do in order for you to provide for yourself or for your family? Are you happy? Do you have a gift? Have you identified your gift? Do you have a vision? Have you identified your vehicle? Is your vehicle properly working? Do you know what your purpose is in life? My public speaking professor would be very proud of me, because I'm giving you a call to action. I urge you to identify your gift. I urge you to find your vision, because through that, you finally reach purpose. You will stop existing, and you will truly understand what it means to live life. Now, how am I 24 years old and I'm giving life advice to adults? Or adults, people who are older than me. In high school, I did congressional speech and debate. I've competed at Harvard University, University of Florida, Wake Forest, George Mason. I represented my district of North Carolina and met congressmen, senators, Washington, D.C. I've been there. I've worked more jobs than most people who are older than me. But it's through my experiences, through the hardships, through the failures, through the life lessons, through the loss of people, friends, those who I thought were friends. That's how I identified my gift. That's how I found my vehicle. And believe me, my gift is pretty big because I have to have a pretty big vehicle for my size. But I found my purpose. My purpose is to help mankind. My philosophy is, you're not serving mankind or doing anything to contribute to mankind, then what really are you doing with your life? Are you existing or are you living? Thank you.